This is a deck of magic items that you can use in your Dungeons & Dragons game to give to your players, and they will always know what their magic item does and what it looks like. The top one, the Parenthood, is actually designed by yours truly for a Kickstarter called Peculiar Discoveries, Magic Items and Companions for 5th edition. Hi there fellow role players and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask, this is your go-to YouTube channel for everything third-party Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition related, and today I want to talk about Peculiar Discoveries, Magic Items and Companions for 5th edition. And this book, let me tell you, is right up my streets. This is my cup of tea, whatever you want to call it. It is not a Kickstarter for a deck of cards. The deck of cards is an extra that comes with the Kickstarter, and they just have a bunch of magic items printed on cards, and you can give those to your players so they always know what their magic item does and what it looks like. And they actually asked me to design one of them, the Parenthood, which is a magic item that it's a hood that you can wear, and it's always freshly washed, and it always smells nice, and you basically get the feeling that you always want to take care of people around you when you're wearing the Parenthood. It's a magic item by me for Peculiar Discoveries, Magic Items and Companions for 5th edition. Now, let me tell you about what it is and why it is my thing, and I want you to click the link in the description below and go to the link and see if you want to back it. There's 6 more days to go. And Peculiar Discoveries is actually a book full of magic items and companions. And I like books that do one thing and try to do one thing good. I like sitting down on my couch at home with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and flipping through a monster book that is just a monster book. Or flipping through Artifacts of the Guild, which is a book full of artifacts created by guild members, like people who put stuff on the Dungeon Masters Guild. They created a book called Artifacts of the Guild. So I like those kinds of books that do like one thing and try to do it well. And Peculiar Discoveries looks like it's going to be amazing. As you can see, they were looking for 20k in euros, and they already made 80k by 1,398, almost 1,400 people, and they have 6 more days to go. So they're sure going to, I think they're going to go over 100k, especially if you guys start backing it. What is it exactly? So it is a book, and I want to talk about the cover in a bit. I really love the cover. It is a book, and there's a lot more side stuff they are selling with it, and I absolutely love it. As you can see, there's miniatures, there's card decks, there's a dice bag, there's the PDF, there's maps, and there's even some more stuff that I really, really like. So the book are 200 pages of content for 5th edition, and this is what I like. 270 plus magic items, 45 companions, and 10 new mounts. Now, the mount thing, I've never really used mounts in my game until now, so I'm not really looking forward to the mounting, although the picture in the bottom right looks really cool. The mounts look really cool, especially for people who like want to use mounts in their games. They can be super cool. I'm more interested in the magic items, which is always nice to have. I love flipping open the Dungeon Master's Guide, the official 5e Dungeon Master's Guide, and just going to magic items and handing magic items over to my players. I love just having that moment of, okay, you find a magic item, rolling for which magic item, and if you have that printed on cards, that makes life a lot more easier. So I will be using this for my physical table for sure. Thank you, by the way, guys, for sending it to me. But the companions, I really like the companions. So the book is like this, and as I said, I really, really love the cover. It is. I hope they're sticking with this. They're staying with this because it looks cool. It's like this person going through a dungeon trying to look for treasure, and they have this companion on their back, like a cat, some sort of cat type creature, holding a torch for them, being their source of light. And I absolutely love that. I think that's a great cover, and I love like the brownness and the vagueness of it. And it's not like super colorful. It's a little bit gritty, but still drawn in a very nice and fresh way, so I absolutely like the cover. But the companions, this is where I am really excited about. The companions, there's 2 sorts of companions. First of all, there are the awakened items. I love it. Like, there's a pair of boots with eyes, there's binoculars, or what is the English name for this? It's not binoculars, right? There's a awakened book, an awakened teddy bear, and these can do all kinds of stuff for you, and they're basically a companion, but they're just a piece of equipment or a piece of thing and what you're wearing or holding or whatever, and it's awakened, but it is your companion. I think that's very cool, and I think they can go a lot of really cool ways with that. I really love that. But then there are, for example, these 3 companions. Now, if Pokemon would be invented at this point in time, I think these would be the 3 starter Pokemon, because this looks so cool. So they're so different, but the style is the same, and this makes sense to me. This is really cool. I love the cat that with wings. I love the little, I don't know what it is, little creature holding a spoon. Yeah, each companion has a special feature and can unlock an additional one when you fulfill its quest. I love that sentence. So you have a companion with a unique skill. Probably something small, something role-playing type of thing, not game-breaking, I hope. But if you finish some sort of quest that's probably with the companion, you will get an extra feature, which is cool, which gives your character some personal stuff to do, and the dungeon master to give you some personal stuff to do in their story. I always think that is very, very, very cool. There's themed magic items, and that's really cool. All the magic items in here have a different theme to them. There's demons, celestials, orcs, elves, alliance, and undead. For example, I have a deck of cards here, and the orc helmet you're seeing right on my screen right now is right here. I have it right here, and for what I believe is the items are going to have like a long description in the book. For example, the War Chief Helm you're looking at right now, the War Chief Helm, has a short description on the spell card, but the longer description is going to be in the book, I think. There's even the page number right here, which can come in super handy, page 181 in the book. That's probably a placeholder since the Kickstarter is not complete yet, but the page number will be here, and I absolutely like that sort of convenience when people think about that sort of stuff. The War Chief Helm, for example, makeshift helmet forged from multiple scraps of iron and horn, gives you 1+1 to armor class, which is really strong. But then, when you take melee damage, the attacker suffers 2d10 piercing damage if you spend your reaction. The attacker must then make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the attacker is blinded until the end of its next turn, and you cannot use it until you finish a short rest. This thing is slightly overpowered. Don't hand this thing to your level 5 fighter of your party, because he will be so extremely overpowered. This is like a high level thing. But all of these, like these magic items, all have their own different type of what do they call them, theme to them. So all of these are themed, and the cool thing is they are going to sell them in different decks of cards. Let me just scroll down here to the pledges. There's the PDF, there is the book itself, plus the PDF, of course, the book and cards. So these books come with cards, with a set of cards. Probably you can choose one set of cards or something like that. And as you can see, these sets all have a different logo on them for the team. So if your players are fighting Celestials, or they're fighting Orcs, or they're fighting whatever, you can give them a magic item that belongs there. So the magic item actually makes sense for getting, because that's the thing that I always have with rolling for random magic items in 5e in the Dungeon Master's Guide. My players could be in like an underwater dungeon and they find, like, I don't know, a bicycle, whatever. It doesn't make sense, I know, but it doesn't make sense in the game at that point to find that particular item. And I love it when books on magic items do that. Like, this is a magic item that will probably belong where your players are playing, where you are running the campaign. I absolutely love that. There's even more of those, because in the next package, book plus all the cards, so you get the PDF, you get the book, you get a set of battle maps you can use. You can throw on the table and just put some miniatures on and roll some dice and have some fun. There's more decks, and then there is even an entire set with all of the same stuff and a set of cool looking dice. First glance, not as cool as my Kickstarter dice, but they're cool. They're pretty cool dice. There is a set of of miniatures, like paper type miniatures. There's all the cards, and there is a dice bag, and then there is even a set, and this is like, okay, this is $212, but it has a Dungeon Master screen, and it even has like this, I don't know exactly what it is, but this probably looks like one of those awakened items, and you can just give that to the players, and so they remember they have that item or something like that. So this is the top tier level, but I really like the printing on this Dungeon Master screen. It gives you like this sort of like it leaves a lot to the imagination. It's open. It gives you like this wide idea if we're in a forest. I really love the Dungeon Master screen. I love Dungeon Master screens. I never use them, but I just love looking at them. And that's basically the Kickstarter in a nutshell. And I am absolutely I'm excited for this because, like I said, I really love books that do one thing and try to do it good. I also love books that do a lot of things, but they have to do all of that good. And there's just only a small selection of books that do that. Like yesterday, I reviewed Corpus Malicious. They nail every little bit of what they do, and they do a freaking lot. But they've been working on that thing for quite a while. There's also a lot of books that do a lot of stuff, and half of the stuff feels more like filler or whatever. But this book just looks like it's going to be magic items, it's going to be companions, and that's it. That's basically it, and mounts, but those are basically some form of companions. And you can flip through them at the point when you need that particular thing. If you need a magic item, you know I'm going to take Peculiar Discoveries and flip through it and select a magic item for my players, or roll on a random rolling table or whatever. I just wanted to get your eyes on this Kickstarter. There's only 6 more days to go. Make sure to click the link in the description below. Watch the trailer. There's also a cool trailer. And if you're convinced, back it. If you're not convinced, leave it if it's not for you. Until next video, bye-bye.